much, and very good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank CS Journal Club and PM Manmeet and also Dr. Atia for the invitation. I really appreciate that. So I hope this talk can give you some hints to speed up your PhD process and to become a successful PhD candidate. All right, so for those who don't know me, because I think some of you are my students, some of you are my colleagues. For those who do not know me, I'm Dr. Pantea from Service Computing Cluster. And so today I'm going to
Dr. Pantea, I think you are muted. Cannot hear her? Oh, Dr. Pantea, I think we cannot hear you.
Yeah, suddenly her voice went
Yes.
off.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe let's give Dr. Pantea a couple of minutes to check on his microphone.
can you hear me now?
Yes, but it's like a little breaking.
Okay.
Now
Sorry for
better.
All right. Okay, so let me just share my slides again. So sorry for the problem caused. I think there's something wrong with my mic. All right, thank you so much again, and sorry for the inconvenience. So again, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the invitation. So for those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Pantea from Service Computing Cluster, and I'm gonna discuss about critical success factors to excel PhD academia journey in Malaysia. And I hope these hints can help you to speed up your PhD journey and to become successful. All right, so I'm not going to give you a lecture on all those things, but I'm just going to give you some overview so you can have system thinking. And if you are familiar with this kind of thinking, you can be successful in everything, not only in your PhD, but also with other career or your future career in your life. So I will discuss about systems, system thinking, and systems of systems, and also the critical success factors or the key to success that can be generalized for everything, but of course for the PhD will be more focused. And in the beginning, I wanted to just discuss about some of my experience, share my experience, but I thought maybe I can link it with some psychological and behavioral theories. So it can be kind of a good guideline to assist PhD students. So before I start, can anyone tell me what is a system? Maybe you can just write your answer in the chat box. Do not find the answer from the internet. Do not search. Step by step. Okay, good. Different components to achieve the task. Very well. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you very much. So as you have mentioned, I think software is one of it. Okay. All right. System is actually a bigger picture that can be generalized for everything, even for your life. So those systems, information system, and so on, they are very small part of those the bigger system. So anything that has kind of input, processing, and output will be a kind of system. And of course, there are series of feedbacks here from the output to input to enhance it. And other thing that will affect on those systems is the environment. There are some forces by the environment that whether you want or no, it will affect on the systems. For example, let's say your PhD journey is part of a bigger education system, right? Maybe you have some authority for your PhD, but you cannot control the education system. There are some requirements that you have to follow. For example, a school asks you to publish two index journal. You need to have like for PhD, for example, you need to have 3 contribution, novelties, and so on. There are some guidelines that you need to follow, right? So system is a group of interacting or interrelated elements that act according to a set of rules and form a unified whole. So why I'm discussing all these things, you will know in the next slides, okay? So do not rush. All right. So if we consider our life as a system, do you think we can do that? We can consider our life as a system? Let's see. All right. Maybe, yes, it is a very, very, very big system that include a lot of subsystems, right? So it's a kind of series of subsystems. So we can say that there are many interrelated subsystems in the bigger system that all of this system has kind of criteria and kind of factors that if we follow those, we can be successful in everything. So, for example, there is a concept called system thinking, and the system thinkers believe that the world is a collection of systems and feedback processes. So, with this idea, just think about your PhD or your study. I think it can be also considered for master study, postgraduate study, or anything in your life. So here you are, and here are the murderer on the your PhD journey that you are under control of them, right? You cannot just do write whatever you want and then get your PhD. So you are under control. So you are part of a system, a bigger system, which is the education system, right? So your PhD is very small subset of that education system. And whether you want or no, you have to follow some certain rules, regulations, and some guidelines in order to get your PhD and have a successful PhD. If you have this kind of thinking, it will be easier for you to find what are the keys and what are the success factors. So this system gonna fail or become successful in a certain period of time. So in your PhD, what you can do to become successful? First, you need to know, you need to understand what is PhD and find the determinants, find the factors of the input, the processing, and output of your PhD. So if let's say I just talk about the systems of systems, a world as a system, and then this education system is part of that systems of systems, and then your PhD is very small part of the education system. So in this way, you can narrow down the success factors and try to just you don't need to know about all factors. You just need to, because now you are focusing on your PhD, not on your job, not on other things, right? So you just need to find the success factors of your PhD based on the time and place, of course. For example, the education system, let's say in Malaysia, might be a bit different than the education system in other countries, right? So they may have certain rules, regulations, criteria, and so on. So you need to follow those. And if you find those critical success factors, of course, your work will have quality to pass and you will achieve the success. All right, so let me discuss about all these critical success factors that are narrowed down for your PhD or your postgraduate study only. So remember that these success factors might be different for other systems, for other subsystems, and for other things, right? So I just list down the critical success factors and I will go through each of them separately. All right. So the first critical success factor in your PhD is the goal. So of course, first you need to have a bigger goal that is getting PhD. That's why you register. That's why you apply, right? So your goal was maybe each of you have different goals. For example, you want to have promotion in your job, or you love to be a professor, or a different reason, right? So that is the goal that you have created for yourself, and that's why you are here. So you are passed for the bigger goal. And for the smaller goal, which is your PhD, you also need to have, you also need to set a clear and specific goal before you start. So each of you are doing your PhD or your postgraduate study in different topics, different areas, right? So your goals will be different than your friend's goal. So try to be very specific and very clear in setting a goal. And the goal can be later divided into kind of set of written research questions that you have shared and discussed with your supervisor, and then you can just continue. So hard work is essential, but of course it is not sufficient if you don't have a goal. If you don't set your goal, you will be lost and it will be very difficult to follow up what you're gonna do. Another success factor is, of course, resources. Without resources such as, for example, you need to study, read, and read. You need to read the scientific papers, books, and so on. So if you don't have access to databases, to library, and so on, how are you going to do that? So, of course, these are the must for your PhD. Computing facilities, facilities for experiments. It depends on your research. You may need, for example, use the labs and so on. Another important factor that is really key to success is self-motivation. If you set the bigger goal to do your PhD, you are somehow self-motivated unless someone forced you to do that. For example, I don't know, maybe your parents or maybe from the job, you got some forces, right? Okay, sure. I will share my slide later. So self-motivation is very important. You need to be self-motivated. If you're self-motivated, you can be successful in everything. You want to do many things. You want to do the best in your PhD, and it is really key to success. So be a proactive learner means that try not to wait for others to teach you what, how, and what you need to do, how you should learn. Do not wait for your supervisor to teach you step by step. Do not wait for others to help you. If you are self-motivated, you will go search and find what you want, and you will learn so many things, right? So self-motivation is another important factor. Okay, of course, another related factors which is related to self-motivation also is passion. Try to be passionate about what you want to do. Do not consider your PhD as very difficult education step that I need to do so many things. It's very boring. No, try to be passionate. You are learning. Learning is kind of very interesting step in our life, right? You are learning something new. So try to be very passionate and in love with your PhD topic. I'm just joking, but try to like and love what you are going to do. Try to love your topic, the area that you are doing. Otherwise, it is very difficult to continue. Okay, another one is planning, of course. So with all those factors in mind, okay, now you set the goal, you are self-motivated person, you have passion, you love your PhD title, now you want to start. But how you gonna start? You don't know from where to start, right? So you need to have planning. You need to have proper planning, but you don't know how. You can learn. You can learn. You can attend, training. You can read to learn how to plan. If you learn how to plan, then you can create a proper and realistic planning. And of course, just planning is not enough. You need to stick to that plan. Let's say I have a plan for my next month or next week, but I don't do many of them. I don't follow them. So what is the point of that planning, right? So you need to stick to planning, to your plan. Sometimes I try to, for example, have some plan for my day, but I found it very difficult to follow, honestly. So I try to make it a bit bigger, like for a week. For example, this week I gonna do this, this, this. Because for one day, sometimes when I have planning, then it will be unrealistic and I won't do any of them. I will just get tired when I see the list of things that I need to do. So that's why I try to set the objective of a week and try to see how I achieve it at the end of the week. Is more realistic than having planned for a day. And try not to rush to do your PhD. It's very good that you try to have time management to finish your PhD on time. I'm not saying do not finish your PhD on time. I'm saying that do not rush. If you rush from the first step, for example, you are in the first year, your friend is in the third year. You see, you don't have anything yet, and for example, your friend has so many things. You just want to, compete with your friend or try to be like your friend. You cannot because you just started. So be realistic. Do not rush. If you spend time, you have time management, good planning, for sure you will even achieve those contributions in the sooner than your friend. So don't worry and do not rush, and try do not procrastinate. For example, sometimes you have some plan, but you say, okay, I will do it tomorrow, I will do it next week. No, do it now. If you have a plan, stick to it and do it now. All right. Okay, another important factor is time management. That is very important for everyone, for everything, not only for PhD student or postgraduate student, but because you have limitation to finish your PhD, this is very important and crucial for you. So manage your time effectively and work in short sprint. What is short sprint? For example, sorry, just a minute. For example, in system development or software development, there are some short sprints. They will try to develop that system step by step. Your PhD is also like that. In the first month, or for example, in the first year, you cannot have the whole PhD. You need to go step by step. And your expectation should not be very high when you are in the first step. You should not be, it's good to be a perfectionist, but in the beginning, you cannot be perfect. You will develop very small, for example, few pages of writing. Then you will give it to your supervisor. Your supervisor will read, will give you some comments. Then it will be improved. It will be better. It will be improved parts. It will be better than the previous one. Then, for example, you will have your chapter one. You will give your supervisor again. You will get comments. Then you will have 3 chapters. You will go for proposal review. You will get comments, feedback. Then you will revise it again. So here is the short sprints that you are developing step by step, and then this is the right way to do. So do not rush and try not to be perfect from the beginning. Okay, there are some steps that you need to follow. So based on the time management that you have, you can finish your PhD on time. And of course, you need to have work-life balance because it will help you to be more productive. Maybe you say, I just want to study and I want to focus a lot on my study. All right. But you don't have any hobbies, you don't follow your hobbies, you don't talk to anyone, just study. But after some time, you will be depressed, you will not be productive, and so on. So try to have, life. Try to balance between work and life, and because it will really help you to refresh your mind and become more productive. I can see a lot of comments in the chat box. Let me see if they are related to me. Yes, exactly, Dr. Atia. All right. Okay, so another important factor is the skills. All right, so there are certain types of skills that you need to have them for completing your postgraduate studies. One of them are transferable skills. For example, your communication skills, your writing skills, and so on. So all these cannot be improved only by reading, right? If, for example, you are attending seminars, workshops, conferences, and so on, you are improving your communication skills, or you try to present, or, for example, try to organize some events or attend some events, you will learn from them and you will try to improve your transferable skills. And then there are some specialist skills that are required for your PhD that are very specific to your PhD. Maybe you need to learn some softwares, you need to learn some certain analyses, and so on. So if you don't know and you cannot learn them only by reading, it's okay. You just try to attend to seminars, training, and so on, which are related to you. And one of the another very, very important skill is part of transferable skills, but it is also very important. So I have highlighted it separately, is writing skill. Because whatever you do, and if you are really good at what you are doing, at the end of the day, you need to write it and you need to give your written thesis to the examiners, right? So writing skill is very important. Try to enhance your writing skill. For example, you can attend again workshop seminars, or you can. There are some books for crafting, scientific writing, and so you can maybe start. Then, for example, every day you can write a paragraph or essay for yourself. So there are a lot of ways that you can improve your writing. And yeah, if you are in a group or if you join the groups, for example, you have CS Society here. It's a very good platform for all of you to communicate with each other, to learn from each other. And you have a lot of sharing session. You can just join and learn. These are very good platform for you to enhance your skills. For example, when I was a student, I was part of different groups such as CS Society, swimming clinic, lifeguard, and also postgraduate student association. So all this really helped me to improve my communication skills. I didn't know many things. I was also a student like all of you. So I tried to enhance my skills by, of course, reading, studying, attending training, and being part of the groups. Being part of the groups is very important. You will learn different things from different people. You are communicating with professionals and you will learn a lot from them. This connection, it can be also helpful for the previous success factors. So try to connect with good people in your area of research, like ResearchGate, LinkedIn, and so on. Sometimes it's very useful. You can just, if you have some question, you can just ask. Many people will try to help you and answer you. So it will really enhance your work. And also join your supervisor research group because you are in a, for example, you are in a group that's most of your works are kind of related in a specific area because of your supervisor, right? So yes, there are very active communities in Discord as well. Yeah. So all those communities are very good. So try to join. Try to try not to be isolated and try to just connect with people because it is really helpful. Sometimes we can just talk about your research to some professionals. Maybe you have some problem somewhere in your research, but when you talk to them, you will find your solution. So it is very important to connect. All right. Okay, so another, of course, this is the first step actually that you need to have for your PhD, which is reading critically. Just reading is not enough. Sometimes the student said, okay, doctor, I start, for example, I read 10 papers. But what is the point of reading those papers? Just reading is not enough. Of course, first you need to start reading, read as many as you can, but try to learn about critical appraisal skills. Critical appraisal skill is kind of a systematic way. Like I think the first speaker was discussing about systematic literature review, right? So this is similar to critical appraisal skills. It's kind of a systematic way that you will criticize the papers, then you will try to get some finding some conclusion from them to show their trustworthiness. So try to read like that. Whenever you read, try to write some point. Just reading is not enough. So you highlight, for example, you can use some software, document management software such as Mendeley and so on, which are very useful for you. You can just highlight those parts that you want, and for example, you write some point, because maybe after 1 month or after 1 week, you will forget. But when you refer to your note, then you will remember them. And I think the best way that I always suggest is when you read, you write. You write the point, you write what you get from this paper, what you want from this paper. And this paper helps you to get the idea of, for example, which idea that is related to maybe one part of your research. So just add all, for example, you try to have a table, just add the points from every paper that you read. So okay, and also learn when to stop reading and start writing. So just reading is not enough, and just only reading without criticism is not enough. All right. Okay, another factor is supervisor. Of course, you need to keep establish and keep your good relationship with your supervisor, because your supervisor is the one who is guiding you throughout your PhD journey, right? So this is a very important factor that you need to have in mind, and also try to communicate with your supervisor regularly. Just establishing the relationship, a good relationship, is not enough. So make sure that you meet your supervisor regularly. Either it can be either online or face-to-face, it doesn't matter, but try to do that. Because when you want to meet your supervisor, you try to have some progress to show, and then your supervisor will give you some feedback. So you know, in the system, there is a loop of the feedback. So that one will be really helpful to improve the system or your PhD. And try to have clear expectation. Whenever you want your supervisor to try to have some kind of list down your questions that you're going to ask from your supervisor, and you should know that what you want to ask from your supervisor. Just meeting your supervisor is not enough. Of course, your supervisor will try to see your work and give you comment, but try to have some questions to ask. This is the way that you are getting the input from your supervisor in the system of your PhD. So here, I just want to thank my lovely supervisors, Dr. Nasria Ponurlia, and also Associate Professor Dr. Montaji, that they were really lovely and they really helped me in my PhD journey. I also have still in touch with them, and I really appreciate them. Also, my lovely examiners and panels that really helped me to improve my research, because based on the first figure I show you, the input, that input is one part is from you, but one of the parts is from the supervisor, and also the other parts is from the examiners. So all these are here to help you to enhance your work so it can meet the criteria, the standards, so you can be passed and you can be successful. You can publish good papers. All right. And also, of course, my lecturers, because I'm here, I have done my master here as well and my PhD, and I had some courses. So I would like to appreciate their help and whatever I learned from them. Okay, so mental strengths is the other critical success factors that is very important. So as I mentioned, all these, for example, factors are important and are important for you to achieve the success. But if you don't have the mental strength, if you you have some issues, your mind will not be productive and you cannot work. So you need to try practice to have some mental strength, which is a high degree of self-control and self-awareness. You need to be very focused. You need to have commitments so you can be productive and work properly. So in order to gain your mental strength or you improve your mental strength, different practices are required. For example, you can have some hobbies, you can have some practices, some exercises. Not only they are not only related to your study. There can be some other factors that can help you to improve your mental strength. All right. Another thing is adaptation, or adapt yourself or adjust yourself with the new environment. Because especially for the international students, you are coming from different countries, maybe different weathers, different cultures, different environment, and so on, right? So if there's something that in the beginning you cannot really bear them, it's very important. It's very it will really affect on your study. So try to find the ways to adjust yourself with the environment. For example, maybe I just give you some example. When I come here, in the beginning, I was really afraid of this lizard, the monitor lizard, and so on. Sometimes I couldn't sleep at night, and I was trying. I tried to turn on the lights and then sleep. But now I'm very good with them. I don't have any problem with them, and now they are my friends. So I just consider them as a friend. They are very lovely creatures, and they don't hurt, so you should not be afraid. And then, for example, durian. Yeah, they are not afraid. When they see you, actually, they will run away, right? So do not be afraid. Oh, yeah. So that's why you need to try to practice with yourself that they are not really hurting you, right? What they are doing with you. So if you practice this mentally, you will be ready to not to be afraid from the lizard, because many of my friends and many of my students, they had this issue. They said we cannot sleep, I'm afraid, and so on. So just try to adapt yourself with the environment. And yeah, durian, I really love it now. But in the beginning, I was actually because of the smell, I was afraid to try it. I had one Indian friend. She was my roommate in the beginning. Then she bought it for me. She was so nice. She bought it for me, but I couldn't eat it for the first time. But now, believe me, I love it. When I feel the smell, then I just want to go and buy and eat. So just try to adapt yourself. Just try, instead of seeing the scary part, see the beauties. So see, for example, how this fruit is. It has the variety of is the source of vitamins. It's so delicious and it's very good. So just see the good sides. Don't see the other sides. And also chilies. I was so I had a lot of problems for eating spicy food. Whenever I eat, I just go to clinic after that. Then one day, it was, I think, Dr. Nurmala, she's the head of the clinic now. She told me, Panta, you are here every week. Why not, instead of coming here and taking some medicine, why not you try to eat and try to adapt yourself with them? Just try. For the first time is difficult, second time is difficult, but just try to use it so you can be used to it. And believe me, I try, and now I love spicy foods. And if there are some food without the spices, I feel that they don't have any taste now. So just try to adapt yourself with the environment. When you come from another country, you came here, so you have to practice what they do here. Okay, if you just want to keep everything you are doing in your country, so what is the point that you came here? You came here, so you need to try what they try, their food, their culture, the beauty of their cultures, and everything. And also, there are some, for example, maybe in their food, there are something that are good for example, the weather. For example, here is the weather is very humid. You need to have some spices, some ginger, and so on. So these are included in their food. So if you eat their food, you will be healthy. But maybe if you cook yourself, I'm not saying you don't cook, but you also try the foods from here. They are very good. And I really love them. That's why I also gain weight because there are still so many foods in Penang that I haven't tried. Even I try so many things, there are still so many foods that I didn't try. And yeah, the heavy raining, in the beginning, I didn't know that I should have umbrella all the time. And I was just walking with my laptop. Suddenly I stuck in the heavy rain. So try to just be ready and adapt yourself with the environment because you came here all the way from your country. So you need to live like the people that they are living, the local people. Okay. So try to see what they do and try to follow. And of course, you need to respect every culture. So of course, you're from different countries with different background, different cultures, race, religion, and so on. So try to respect all culture, religions, and try to be friend. And you can see that this friendship will be very beautiful, very colorful, and you will really enjoy it. And you will learn different things from different cultures because the beauty of culture is when it has diversity. If you want to stick to your culture, you cannot enjoy your life. Just respect, just enjoy the beauty and the diversity of different cultures. And yeah, the hobbies. As I said, just studying, it will be maybe sometimes boring. You will get mad and you will get bored. You will hate your PhD and so on. So try to have some hobbies. Because it will reduce your stress, it will try to help you to improve your productivity and also gain mental strength that I was discussing with you in the earlier slide, right? So, for example, I had some hobbies like swimming. I tried to join swimming clinic, and also I become the swimming lifeguards for a few years in USM when I was doing my studying. So I really enjoy. I had a very good friends. We had some bonding trips. It was so good. It's very pity that this COVID-19 pandemic happens and students couldn't enjoy their life in USM. So try to just go around trying to find something. There are so many facilities for exercises, for example, badminton courts, tennis courts, a swimming pool. So just try to use them. Just try to go with your friend and try to enjoy, because it will really help you to enhance your productivity. And yeah, finally, I have finished my PhD and I passed this road, and I'm not killed. So I'm still alive, and I'm very proud to be graduated from a School of Computer Sciences, USM. So, and here are some of my papers from my PhD that I have published, because why they are asking you to publish paper, you have some requirement to publish at least 2 papers. It's very good that they come up with this kind of requirement, because after you have graduated and you want to start work and you want to, for example, apply for job, they will see your CV and they will check your papers. If you don't have papers, they feel that you didn't do much valuable things in your PhD. So try to have good publications, try to have very good contribution that can be publishable. So later on, you have no issue for joining, for finding a good job. I found this picture and I felt it is very interesting, because in the beginning, when you start your PhD, in the first phase, you feel that you are dying. You know nothing. You cannot find what you want to do. But don't worry, you will not die. You will survive. And then later you will progress, and then you will accelerate, and finally you will be graduated and you will get your PhD. You will pass this way and you will not get killed. Okay? So, but you need to, and as I discussed about the systems and systems of the systems and the critical success factors, maybe oops, sorry. I just wanted to go to this slide again. Yeah, here. So always remember that life is a system of systems or series of systems, that one of them is education system, and your PhD is part of it, right? So in order to be successful, every system has its own critical success factors, right? But for your PhD system, there are some critical success factors that can help you to have a high quality work and then to become successful. So finally, all right. What I want to say is that, for example, for me, whenever I think about my master study or PhD study, I always remember very good memories. I always, I wish that still I was doing my studying, and I really enjoy my study and life here in Malaysia. So try to, but in order to do that, you need to create your moments. You need to capture your moments, right? So based on this quotation, today's moments are tomorrow's memories, and memories are the key, not to the past, but to the future. So maybe for example, today you will think about how much work you have done, how you study hard. For example, you have created so nice memories. So now you have to be successful and find a very good job, right? So if it really cheers you to be encouraged to be successful always, whenever you think about those memories. So try to create those memories and remember to capture them. Whenever you look at the photos of your memories, you will really enjoy and it will really help you to make your day and be more productive. Sometimes you want to cry when you look at the photos and so on. So thank you so much, everyone. Actually, I had thousands of photos. I didn't know how to put all of them in the slide, so I just share some of them with you. And thank you so much. And again, I would like to thank my lecturers, my supervisors, my examiners, everyone for helping me to graduate and present this work to you. So I think that's all from me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pantea. I think Dr. Atia did ask you what you like most about USM.
Okay. Maybe in the bigger picture, I should say that what I like about Malaysia is the diversity of the cultures. I learned so many things from different cultures, the colorful things, the colorful foods, cultures, and very lovely and friendly people here. And of course, from USM, what I wanted to tell you, I think I forgot for the workshop and so on. When I was a student, it was not, most of the things was face-to-face and not online. So I was going around USM, different schools, and check their boards and see who has different workshop, for example, which school has workshop, and then just take note and try to attend. So I really I really improve my skills based on those workshops that I attend, because sometimes you study, you do some self-study, but you will not find your answers, and maybe you will not really learn efficiently. But when you attend to the workshop, because they are professionals, so these are really helpful. I remember IPS had some series of workshops. Our school has a lot of workshops, and also different schools. So I was attending, and it was really helpful. And another thing was the friendly way that the lecturer here communicate with the student. It was very friendly, and I never feel homesick or sad here. I'm not sure you believe me or no. I was actually a very sensitive person, and in our family, we have a small family. I was very dependent in my family. I never go far from my family. When I came here, maybe the first week I felt, oh, I'm alone. It's a bit difficult because I came here when I was 26 years old. Yeah. So I felt my first time that I left my home, my country. But I found very many friends, many friendly friends, my classmates, my lecturer, very kind. So I never feel that I'm lonely or I'm homesick or uh, uh, I want to go back and so on. So this was another very good thing about USM and of course Malaysia. So yeah, that's all. I hope I answer your question, Dr. Atia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pantea. All right. So, any more question that? Okay, I think Hong Jie is asking, what is the most difficult during your study?
Difficult.
I think it's the challenges. What's the most
Challenges.
challenge?
Actually, because research is very different than, for example, you are taking courses and so on. My undergraduate study was electrical engineering, and I was working I have worked as electrical engineer in industry for a few years. So I was very technical. and I didn't have managerial and IT skills at all. And I really love because I was working in a company attached to industry, and I really wish to be a manager and have a company one day. So I tried to change my field and study IT. In the beginning, it was so difficult for me. In the first semester, oh my God, what are these things? Because just imagine for 4 years, you study so many technical things, circuits, microprocessors, control systems, and so on. And suddenly you switch and study about, for example, IT, technopreneurship, cyber marketing, and so on. So it was very difficult for me. But as I said, adapt is one of the very important factor, one of the success factor. I try to adapt myself, and I try to, practice that. I decided, I think a lot to change my area to IT. It was not just, I just come and study IT. For few years that I was working, I was thinking that whether I should do my master in electrical engineering or IT. But I wanted to be a manager, and I was looking at my managers, and I saw that they study IT. So that's why I changed it. So whenever I give up during my master's study, I try to think that I set a goal to finish my IT degree and to become a manager. And that's why it tried to help me to just not to give up and to continue. So I think this was one of the biggest challenges I faced, but it was only for first semester. It was very difficult for me, but I tried to adapt myself. And now I love this area, and I don't want to go back to those electrical engineering and so on. What did you do during those moments when almost want to give up? Yeah, when I wanted to give up, I just think about my decisions, my goals that I have set them before I come here. And if I give up now, is this really what I wanted? No, I came all the way here because it's a long travel from my country to here. It's like um, 10 hours by direct flight, or if it is not direct, like 20 hours and so on. So I came all the way here and to study this, and now I just give up. So I just continue. Whenever I wanted to give up, I think about my decision that I made before I come and my goal. So I just um, for example, do something else, like do exercise or do stop studying and do other things, so I can be so I will not give up, and I will try to cheer up and then continue again.
Okay, right. That's very helpful. Okay, so any more question for Dr. Pantea? Okay, I think we are quite delighted with your sharing today, Dr. Pantea.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I
Thank you.
think I took a lot of time.
No,
I'm
no,
so
no,
sorry.
no. I think it's just nice. So thank you very much once again for your sharing.
Thank you so much, and have a nice day, everyone.
All right. So before we end our session today, I would like to invite the cluster head for service computing, Dr. Atia, to give a few words.
Yeah, thank you, Kang Ting. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Dr.
Yeah,
Atia.
but cannot see me lah. It's okay lah. I think my voice is already enough. Just few minutes lah. First of all, thank you very much to the speakers who have accepted my invitation to share, Mr. Arif, Mr. Idris, and Dr. Pantea. Okay, it is a very good sharing indeed. So actually, Mr. Idris and Mr. Arif, they are both of them, they are already almost in the end of their PhD journey. So if you notice what they shared just now are their almost the final version of their thesis. Okay, so actually you can learn the way how they present their work, their contribution. Okay, because as we know lah, PhD or the PhD journey is a process. Okay, so apart from what we read ourselves, we write ourselves, we know, we can also learn from others, right? Okay, and then another interesting sharing by Dr. Pantea. She is, okay, she is not Malaysian, but she has been in Malaysia for quite some time. So it is very important, I agree, to adapt with a new country, new culture, okay, especially, in our postgrad community, all of you are from various part of the world, okay, but we once you decide to continue your PhD studies in Malaysia, then you have chance to learn, to live here, okay, and also as well as adapt with our culture lah, okay. Alright, so that's it. I think I won't take much time lah. I know it is already Friday evening, so make sure you have a good rest during the weekend. Okay, we are not robots, so don't force yourself lah. Sometimes it is normal to feel sad, to have, up and down in this journey. But what's important is bounce back. Okay, don't give up. If you have goal, go for it. Okay, no one can stop you unless you have a very strong will. But everyone around you can help you. Okay, it can be your supervisors, your peers, your families. Okay, so keep on going, don't give up, and I wish you all the best. Okay, so make sure take a rest, refresh, and then come back again to whatever you do lah. Okay, all right, that's all from me. Thank you everyone. Thank you the organizers, the speakers, and all the listeners.
Thank you very much, Dr. Atia. So, Dr. Manmeet, you want to add on something before we end
Okay,
today?
all right, sure. Thank you, Katie. So, on behalf of the Computer Science Journal Club, I would like to thank again the speakers, Mr. Arif, Mr. Idris, and Dr. Pantea. So, looking into Dr. Pantea, I think I observed her as a success story from a student up to a staff right now. So I'm sure that all of you are also going to be a success story. Okay, so don't worry too much. Okay, so before we end, again, I think I see a lot of people joining in at after 4. So please stay tuned. We will have a series on research enhancements workshop on systematic system literature review. So this is kind of important for all of us, okay? And the ethic cluster will also be sharing their journal club on this 22nd. Okay, so this time we will have Dr. Jason talking about identifying the good journals and the bad one, okay, from the bad one. So I think it's very important for all of us. Okay, so I guess I would like to thank the committee, all my students, and Dr. Chia is also here, and to all my friends and to all of you. Okay, thank you for joining, and I will see you guys on this Monday. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Manmeet. So please remember to fill up the feedback form, which has been released through the chat box. Maybe Tufika, can you please help to post the link again in the chat box? Thank you very much. And also, you may visit our CS Journal Club page on timely manner to check on the upcoming sharing session and also announcement. So with that, our sharing session for this week has come to an end. So once